Okay, I'm going to work through the problems of solving a percent problem using a ratio. So I'm going to blow this up here to start with. There are basically 4 to 5 steps. I have 4 of them outlined here. Step 1 is you do line equals line. You set it up like this. We're writing a ratio. The second thing we do is, this is a given. 100% always goes over there in the bottom right. Then we need to fill in the other given information from the question, okay? So we have an is over of equals percent over 100. Now what do they mean? Is the part of the total. It's a piece of it. It's not the whole thing. So if I have a pie graph, okay, that right there is the part. This whole thing is the total, okay? And you might see it written as 750 is, so this would be the part, or it might say is 820. In other words, the word is can come right after the word or right before the word. And the third one, way you might see it is written in the question that says 42 out of 63 is the 42, the of is the 63. It would be something like 42 out of 63, okay? The second word is the word of, and this is our total. Notice, of is across from 100%, is across from the part percent. So of is the total amount. So this whole circle would be represented of the total. Just the piece would be the is, the part. So you might see it written as of 39. So 28 is part of 39. Out of, right here, out of 72. This is representative of the total and would go on the bottom. The last thing we do is once we have this all set up, we cross multiply and divide. So now we're going to take a look at some questions related to this on Get More Math so that you can do these on your own. Come back to this as you need to. Okay, so the basic question we've been doing so far, as you can see right here, says find 30% of 60. So we've been doing those with a decimal, but the other way you can do it is to set it up the way we just talked about. You have your 100% there. I'm always thinking is over of. So it says find. There is no is. 30% goes to the top. Notice it says of 60. Of is the bottom number. So I am missing the is. And from there, we just take our calculator. We cross multiply 60 times 30, and we divide by 100. And I can use my calculator for that. 60 times 30 divided by 100. My answer is 18. So 18 is 30% of 60. Okay? All right, that's one type of problem. Okay, the next type of problem that you're going to see is where you're missing a different part. The deal is you're only ever missing one of these three pieces. You're either missing the is, the of, or the percent. Excuse me. So take a look at this one here. It says 190% of what number is 31. So line equals line. 100% goes right there. 190% is allowed to be on the top. That's what we're trying to find. Okay? Of what number? So notice the word of is right there, and it's followed by the word what number. When I have the word what number, that's your missing piece. So this says of what number, so this is missing. Notice I put the X there for it. Is 31. So is 31 is the is. So now I have my setup. Step 4 was to cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to do 31 times 100 divided by 190. 31 times 100 divided by 130. And now you have to, this wants a fraction. So in case you forget, you have to do second, fraction to decimal, enter. and it says it's 23 and 11/13. Notice this number right here, 23 and 11/13. This is greater than this. That's because 190% is greater than 100%. It's like you got bonus on a test. Okay? Okay? So now this third kind, again, remember, we're either missing the is, the of, or the percent. This one says 2 out of 8. And if you recall before, you start with line equals line. 100% goes right there. And it says 2 out of 8. Of is the 8. When it says 2 out of, the 2 is the is. Okay? And it says is what percent. And so that means we don't know this. Our missing piece this time is the percentage. Remember, you're either going to find the is, the of, or the percent. Cross multiply, 2 times 100, divide by 8. So I'm going to take my calculator, 2 times 100 divided by 8 tells me it's 25. So it's a percentage, 2 out of 8. 2 is 25% of 8. So 2 is 25% of 8, and you will have to put the label in for the percentage. So all of the problems are basically set up in the same fashion, okay? So the worksheet that we're working on looked like this. Okay, so I'm going to blow this up, and I'm going to talk through some of these for you. Let that focus. Can that focus there? Okay, so every one of these is line equals line. Line equals line, 100% goes there. Find 50% of 60. So the of is there. If you need to, write this somewhere. Is over of, missing percent over 100%. 100% is always there. So all of it is 160. So I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So I take my calculator, 50 times 160, divide by 100, nets me 80. So 50% of 160 is 80. Okay? These are all the same way. You start out with line equals line, so on and so forth, and 100% right there. Number 11, this is a little different setup. Notice what is missing. The of is the missing value. So I have my x here, I have my 100% right there. 140% goes above the percent side. Percents, numbers, is 49. So my piece, my 140% is 49. Notice 140 is greater than 100. So 49 is going to be greater than what I started with. I earned some money or something like that. Cross multiply and divide, they want a fraction answer. 49 times 100 divided by 140. It comes out evenly to 35. Okay, we need to do one where it doesn't come out evenly. So number 12, line equals line, 100%. 140% goes on top. Notice the of what number is missing. So that's my x, 46. Cross multiply, 46 times 100 divided by 140. Now, it comes out to a long decimal, but they want a fraction answer. So I do second, fraction to decimal, enter. And you can see it says 32 and 6/7 is x. So notice that's bigger than that. This is bigger than that. We're above 100%. Okay? So these all are missing the ofs. Notice that of what number. Now the only difference here let's take a look at this number here, because 38 is, so 38 is, we have our 100%, 45% of what number? So the of is still missing. The 35 is goes in front. I'm going to cross multiply 38 times 100, divide by 45. It gives me this long decimal. This wants the answer to the nearest tenth. So I have to do my rounding, 84.4. You have to watch the rounding. So we've had ones where we're missing the is and missing the of. And I'm going to come back here because I pushed these out yesterday. And I want to show you one where that's a word problem. We're not there yet. It's a word problem. Okay, right here. No. Right here. I already showed you one of those where you might be missing the percent. So again, remember the 4 steps. Line equals line, 100% the bottom right, fill in the given information from the question, the is and the of, cross multiply and divide, make sure you label correctly.